Welcome everyone to the Common Approach Meet the Software series. It's my delight today to welcome CRG. As many of you know, the Common Approach is trying to bring forward some innovations to the impact measurement ecosystem that make it easier for organizations to share the impact measures they have without customizing their measures for each audience or needing to adopt uniform indicators. At the heart of our solution is a common impact data standard that supports structured data and organizations using softwares that make sense for themselves. Folks sometimes ask me, why doesn't Common Approach just make their own software? One, it's hard. And two, each organization needs a very different solution. So we're really happy at Common Approach that there are now 11 software platforms that are aligned or in the process of aligning with the Common Impact Data Standard, enabling this more flexible, shareable data. And each provider is quite different. And that is the magic, that is good. There are different needs. It's good to have different providers. So today we have CRG, and they are a fabulous group for the following reasons. Their product is highly, highly customizable. Where some of the software partners with the Common Approach are simple, you just log in, there's a structure there, you follow along. CRG is well suited to more complex and more unique situations. Second of all, CRG has a really strong evaluation know-how and provides like a rich kind of educational or consulting service alongside their product, which they will tell you more about. I'm sure I have mangled that. But it's not simply log in and use it. There's a package that comes with it. And thirdly, I've been told by my team, there's great stakeholder management tools. And that's one of the areas where this software thrives. So we're really lucky today to get a presentation from CRG to tell us a little bit about what they're up to. And I hope you enjoy it. And with no further ado, I'm going to pass the floor to Alex and William. Thank you for joining us today.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen right now. There we go. Okay, well, welcome to our demonstration session. We'll walk you through our platform. Okay, so what do we have today? Here's what's on the agenda. We'll begin by going over the one sheet, which is a summary of the entire system. We'll talk about the logic model builder and the forward logic approach to getting set up in our system. We'll then talk about grant and program management modules, which work in tandem with the logic model builder. Then we'll do an overview of our approach to reporting, a few words on our customer service approach, and finally we'll explore an example use case as well. We want to start with a slide that summarizes the entire system, the one sheet. So if there's one thing you're going to take away from this entire presentation, it's hopefully all summarized, the entire functionality is summarized here. This is an enterprise level software as a service solution. Each deployment instance is tailored to the specific use case and is supported by our team of experts from onboarding and throughout the entire customer journey. It is an all-in-one solution that has all the tools necessary to optimize funding initiatives and to build capacity. The solution is ideal for asset managers, foundation managers, venture capital, and private equity funds. The feature list you can see here, we have a grant management module, a program management module. I'll talk about those in detail. Logic model builder, data collection, various types. We accommodate quantitative as well as qualitative data. Reporting of various kinds as well. Standards reporting, impact reporting, benchmarking, demographics, ROI and SROI, custom reporting. Another thing of note is that each enterprise deployment is assigned their individual customer success and implementation manager. This is fundamental to our approach of providing a software solution that is easy to use and serves the needs of our clients. As you'll see throughout our presentation, our ideology is to adapt our software to reduce laborious and complex tasks for our users through collaborating with our clients during the onboarding process and throughout the project. We set up the appropriate templates, automation tasks, and data logic to ensure that the user experience is a breeze. So we understand that different organizations approach impact measurement and evaluation differently. As such, some may have an existing logic model that needs to be integrated into the system, while some may want to build one from scratch before moving on to any other tasks. In other words, a forward logic approach. Begin with inputs and work your way forward toward outcomes and indicators. Through onboarding, we identify relevant templates so the users can get a jump start on creating. Alternatively, users can start from a blank template if they wish. From there, users can customize the model to make it reflect their vision, create steps, add connections, add outcomes, assign indicators, use the language that makes sense to them. We understand that clarity is what makes these models functional and useful. So what we know is that for a lot of organizations, their impact evaluation journey does not start with a neatly organized logic model. It starts with a series of vaguely organized databases and maybe even a few Excel sheets here and there. For these organizations, the first key to success is to get things organized. Once organized, the users can fill in their logic model from outcomes and indicators back to inputs, the reverse logic approach. With this in mind, we provide modules for grant management and program management. Together, these modules create fully transparent, streamlined, and organized process of managing programs from grant stage through evaluation and intake to data collection and reporting. We want to provide our users with a clear understanding of their process by centralizing their data and decision making. Let's start with the granting module. Here's a high-level overview of the key steps supported by our platform. It starts with creating a grant from scratch or template, then monitoring applications as they come in, evaluating them, including assigning evaluation duties to different stakeholders if needed, and for different parts of the application. We can also automate part of the evaluation. We have built-in application-specific communication functionality as well, where evaluators can collect additional information from applicants if required. Depending on the decision made, we then move on to payment disbursement and ultimately onboarding the organization program into the program management module. Our goal is to accommodate the entire process, from grant creation to monitoring and integration into the evaluation cycle, and we want to make it easy. Users can create the grant right in our system or connect their application database to our platform. We integrate when and where our clients need it the most. Application evaluation can involve multiple stakeholders and rounds of review. We can accommodate any evaluation methodology, no matter how complex. Now looking at program management, here's a high-level overview of the key steps supported by our platform. We begin with program intake. This step can be automated based on the connection to the granting module or client's existing database. Users can also create programs manually and upload records via the file uploader. Once the program is in our system, users can review and edit program information such as objectives, descriptions, contact information, and also work on assigning outcomes and indicators applicable to the program. Of course, automation is possible here to instantly assign outcomes and indicators based on application information. This is something our success and implementation managers work hard to optimize during the onboarding process. Once the program is set up, we move to onboarding the organization and monitoring their journey through data collection and reporting. Our clients have full ability to monitor the program's journey through each step and adjust course as necessary. Our goal is to centralize your data and decision-making. No need to track multiple databases or Excel sheets, keep everything in one place. Assign outcomes and indicators, no need to do complex math and create room for error. Everything is templated or automated. Have a complete understanding of where each program is in its journey from intake to reporting. Monitor program performance against predefined metrics and goals. Make informed strategic adjustments to ensure programs stay on track and deliver intended outcomes. A few words on our multi-level reporting approach. Our goal is to provide centralized access to reporting for a wide variety of users, from portfolio managers down to individual program managers inside SPOs. For portfolio managers, we offer portfolio impact reporting, which focuses on providing insights related to impact measurement, key performance indicators at multiple levels of data aggregation. The highest level of aggregation, the largest number of data points, provides a portfolio level overview of impact measurement, key performance indicators. The lowest level of aggregation provides an overview of how individual programs are performing. Portfolio managers also have access to portfolio performance reporting. This type of reporting focuses on providing insights related to the financial and administrative performance of each partnering agency and the entire portfolio through combining application data with primary impact evaluation research data. Individual program managers inside SPOs have access to their own reporting and benchmark too. Partnering agencies will be able to evaluate their impact at the program level and or agency level. Access to this type of reporting enables agencies to measure and subsequently manage their performance. As such, they'll be able to adjust programming and achieve higher impact levels. Lastly, before I pass it off to Will, I want to talk about our approach to supporting our clients. CRG offers complete technical support through ongoing technical maintenance and updates to ensure that all users have an optimal experience on our platform. However, we can go beyond technical support and we offer the Universal Assistance Service with the goal of increasing organizational capacity and reducing management and administration expenditure. Depending on the needs, CRG is able to take ownership of the entire organization journey and guide each program administrator through the evaluation process. Below are examples of the common tasks that they're commonly performed, which is what we would talk about here. So onboarding and expectation setting, customization guidance, data collection, deployment guidance, data insights reporting, group learning sessions. Our goal extends beyond guidance. We aim to increase each organization's capacity to perform impact evaluations. This means providing the necessary training and customization, data collection, and reporting. Okay, and with this in mind, I'd like to pass it over to Will to do a demo of an example use case.
Thank you, Alex. Let me just share my screen and we can dive in. Okay, perfect. Yes, hi everyone. I'm William Shadden. I'm the other co-founder of Context Research Group, or CRG. And I'm going to walk you through a high-level hands-on demo of how you could use the CRG platform to conduct impact measurement and evaluation. So today I'm going to be using just our demo version of the platform. It's set up today for a fake funder, which we've called Blue Company. All the programs, organizations funded, and subsequent data in the reports in this are just fake for demo purposes. So let's sign in, log in, and kind of dive right in. So first of all, one thing to point out, you'll notice the platform has embraced Blue Company's visual identity. So we can take in any brand identity or visual style to ensure brand continuity for any organizations who interact and engage with the platform. Alex kind of walked you through a very high level, kind of like the logic builder. So you can build and establish structured evaluation frameworks for any social purpose organization or SPO that you're working with or funding, if you are a funder, or if you're at the SPO level yourself. You can work through and set up your own kind of framework in here to meet any sort of reporting requirements connected to any funding you may have received. So as a funder, I'd be able to kind of look at all of the SPOs in my funding portfolio, look at all the evaluations they have open, and you can kind of access this from the section here we call surveys. So although we call it surveys, these can be any type of data collection. It can be a quantitative tool, qualitative assessment, financial reporting. It's just really kind of applies to data collection. So in our surveys, we just see a handful of selections here of some fake kind of organizations we've set up. You can see that they've set up some evaluations for different programs they're facilitating. They've chosen a selected kind of evaluation framework or template to get them started, and then they can kind of use this to input some data. So for example, we see the Housing First Network here. They have a program called Housing First Program, and they've opted to choose a social purpose organization annual reporting form as a template to get them started. So I'll walk you through what it would look like for this SPO to complete their first annual reporting form. So I just click on that to copy my link and kind of paste it in here. This reporting form is just kind of very open, broad, very versatile. So any SPO could kind of engage with it regardless of what type of initiative they're working on or which type of funding area they've received. So to start, you can do direct file uploads. The system takes all sorts of file formats and structures. Obviously, we're here today talking about the Common Approach data standards. So, this will import directly the files that are in line with the data standard, but we can also set it up to take in CSVs or financial reports or other types of data. And then our system will then translate them into and format them into the data standard so that SPOs or funders can then export in that data standard if they don't have it already. For our demo though today, we'll just do a direct data entry. So you can see, as an SPO, we could add in a bunch of metrics. Right now, we just have some predefined kind of KPIs and outcomes attached to the framework we selected. But SPOs or funders can kind of customize the list of available KPIs. So let's say as my SPO today, I'm working on my KPI is improved access to emergency and housing units. We'll just zoom in 100%, so it's a little more clear there. And then the outcome I'm working towards is improved access to shelters, and this is housing units opened, and we'll do another one, number of people serviced or housed, and this will be kind of the same kind of KPIs for here. Select next, and then we have our two metrics that we've entered. What was our forecasted? So maybe some items that we inputted for the grant application we applied for, and so we're going to open up 100 units, and we actually did 105. Maybe we overachieved in this year. Number of people serviced, maybe this was for 1,000 heads, and that slightly under. Whatever the case may be, we can also specify if it's not a forecast kind of realized type of data point, we can adjust those. Next, we obviously want to specify the reporting dates, so we can choose different dates for different items, or if they're all consistent and the same, we can just choose that, and we'll just very quickly we'll say this is for the 2023 calendar year, so choose January 1st 2023 and then December 31st to capture the full calendar year for all data points. And that's as simple as that. Like this one's a very kind of open, broad, diverse form that any SPO could kind of customize. Once an SPO has done this once, the sort of similar metrics they've inputted in previous years, or this could be a quarterly report as well. Right now it's structured as annual. We'll kind of carry over to make it as easy as possible. We can also kind of allow for downloaded templates that they can fill in offline, then upload in kind of one single kind of batch as well. So that's as easy as kind of inputting data into a kind of very versatile, flexible framework. There are more kind of structured frameworks that can be established in the system. You'll see some of the others in the examples here are a very specific survey for kind of a youth mental health and well-being helpline, or qualitative feedback forms. So it really kind of, it's a conversation that is taking place in the kind of that upfront onboarding period that kind of defines how we're going to implement the different types of frameworks in the platform that suit either a funder's needs or down to kind of customized to an SPO's specific use case and programs. Now let's take a look at some of the reporting that's available in here. So we've got lots of different standardized reports, customized reports. Just got a selection of a couple here that I want to walk you through. So we'll start with an admin called KPI, Key Performance Indicator report. This report is typically available to funders to see kind of overall portfolio as well as individual SPOs. So after, if I was the Housing First SPO completing my form, I'd be able to open this up and see how I, as an individual SPO, are kind of performing here. So this report is tied to a kind of youth mental health and well-being structured evaluation. It has both a quantitative evaluation as well as a qualitative evaluation. This report combines both. Up top, we have kind of quantitative measures, and I'll talk about it in a moment, but down towards the bottom, we can kind of see our assessment of the qualitative data collected. So here's kind of some automated kind of coding of the items that are being collected, and you can isolate a specific category and then see kind of raw verbatim kind of qualitative outputs that meet your selection. And then up top, again, the quantitative measures. And there's lots of different ways you can drill down and engage with the report. First of all, I'm logged in as a funder right now. So perhaps I want to isolate a specific SPO that I funded and select them and let the report process. Now, on all the different kind of key metrics here, we can kind of see for your data, this connects to the SPO that's selected, or if I was logging in as this SPO, this social purpose organization, this would apply directly just to my data. I wouldn't have the option of seeing other SPOs' datas. And then we have kind of comparison benchmark data down below. So how all the SPOs that fall within this funding portfolio are measuring up. So there's that kind of aggregate comparison, which you could turn off if you don't want to see that comparison data. We can also drill down by different demographic factors. If you're an SPO and you have different programs that you've set up to be evaluated separately, you could then kind of select different programs and compare within programs. So that report's available, like I said, to both. Next one I'll just very quickly show you is a demographic assessment. So again, this report would be available both to the SPOs to see their specific data compared with aggregate, or as a funder to see kind of the demographic breakout of the organizations that you funded, kind of who are they working with. So we can see right now our focus on the report is on for our age demographic. We're a funder again, so we can see all organizations. So right now there's no difference between our data and the comparison data, but again, let's drill down maybe on just one specific SPO. I'll choose my Navigate Hope Initiative SPO again. Now on the left-hand side, the data is specific to that SPO, and on the right-hand side, we see the whole kind of portfolio aggregate data. We can, select different kind of demographic factors of interest if we want to see kind of language of the programs and services they offer. Again, we can kind of see some differences there. Two other reports I want to show you, which are more specific to a funder that wouldn't necessarily be applicable to an SPO. So the first is what we call the organizational KPI report. So again, this report is tailored to the youth mental health and well-being evaluation framework that's set up in here right now. So all these metrics are KPIs drawn from that evaluation framework. But here we can kind of see very quickly all of the SPOs that we funded that are within this portfolio and how they're performing relative to one another. In the background, you'll see that it's kind of fluidly categorizing into 3 levels for all SPOs. So based on how they're performing, the kind of categories and cut points are floating. You can easily identify SPOs who are really performing well versus those who may be lagging behind and maybe need a little additional assistance, but also you can drill down to them and maybe understanding the context. Maybe these SPOs are serving hard to reach communities or hard to reach populations or vulnerable populations. So you would expect that they wouldn't necessarily perform as a Gen Pop SPO operating in the same area. So that's another way for funders to evaluate their portfolio. Another one we'll open up is kind of a high-level portfolio report where you can kind of see for your funding initiatives how many SPOs you're funding, the amount of funding you provided, the types of outcomes that they're working towards. You can focus down on a specific impact area if you have different funding portfolios attached to impact areas as well. So just kind of a bird's eye view of the kind of funding initiatives that you're working on. So that is a high level of kind of how flexible kind of the evaluations can be in our system. Some just very high level reports that we have. As I mentioned, there's kind of structured standardized reports, which we think are applicable to either SPOs, funders, or both, as well as the option to develop very customized, tailored reports. Really what our team does in the onboarding process and then throughout the life cycle of our engagement with our clients is continually work with them to optimize workflows. So if there's something that our clients say, hey, we take this data from your system and then we have to do this to align with our annual reporting, we work with them in that process to say, okay, well, what does that reporting look like? How can we make it so that when you click export, you just plug and play into the reports that you need to kind of produce for whatever type of reporting commitments you have. So again, we structure our data so that it's very kind of intuitive and flows nicely into any sort of use cases or requirements that a funder may have or that an SPO may have to report on any sort of funding initiatives they've received. So that kind of concludes our hands-on portion of the demo, and I'll pass it back to Kate now.
Thank you so much, Will and Alex. It's a highly customizable software, so I'm really sympathetic to the challenge of trying to show something that can be so many things. The version you showed us was a grant-making funder, but I wanted to highlight how it was so clear to me how it could easily be adapted to an investment portfolio doing impact investment, for example. It's a really clear analogy how this would work for that different context. So I wanted to highlight that. I want to really celebrate the qualitative data. In our research that we're doing with the Pathfinder pilot and in my other research, the need for support around qualitative data is so high. We're really observing that a lot of social purpose organizations have qualitative data, but they don't have the means to analyze it or mobilize it into a bigger story. And I loved those features that you demonstrated, showing some automatic coding and some way to pull out some of those key phrases and excerpts. I want to highlight also the, I think you called it universal support, the support that comes with the software. I think that's a real advantage. I love the data and insights reporting and the group learning sessions and the ongoing refinement around data flows. And then finally, bringing me specifically to the common approach and the common impact data standard. I wanted to highlight for anyone listening how fabulous CRG is in its ability to both offer a portal to either investees or grantees where they can enter their data or accept the common impact data standard. And this is really the nugget of what Common Approach is trying to achieve. If the grantees already have their own software or are already working on a portal for another funder, it is a pain in the butt for them to have to log into a different funder's portal and enter new data. So any funder using CRG is doing their part to lift the burden of reporting on their grantees by giving them the choice to simply import the common impact data standard. That said, a lot of grantees are not already using software, and the burden to go find one is a pain in the butt. And in this case, anyone using CRG is lifting the burden to the grantees by giving them something really usable, and then they can export that for other grantors. So the Common Impact Data Standard as an import and export through this really enables your clients to be the kind of non-burdensome funders and investors that all those that I talk to want to be. So I just want to say thank you. It's a great product. We're really happy to have CRG as a partner with Common Approach aligned with the Common Impact Data Standard at the full tier.